Did you get an opportunity to see that Bisping and Tyron Woodly played matchmaker?
Yeah, with themselves.
Yes, absolutely. They knocked it out, agreed to fight at 180 pounds. That's never going to happen, but good for them getting it out there.
It might be the first ever super fight of champion versus champion that I don't want to see. And I would watch it. I would tune in, and they'll get my money. But I'm going, okay, champion versus champion is a huge thing. But when it was those two, I kind of went, yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you what I don't want to see is I don't want to see them run Tyron back at Woodley, man. That's just a tough spot, man. Super Bowl.
Tyron is Woodley.
Yeah,
Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy. That's a tough match. Man, I like Woodley. I want to see him have some knockout, drag out wars. Maybe they get apparently Nick Diaz turned down the Robbie Lawler fight. Maybe they run him straight to a title fight. With everything that's been going on, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. I like the matchups. They offered Woodley Lawler for 208. I don't know what happened there, but that didn't happen. And now I think Wonder Boy is back on the dock. And I think Wonder Boy should be. There's a few guys, man. You could throw a few names in there. And that's such a great problem to have. People sit around and bitch about who the real number one contender is. What they miss is that's the greatest problem to have in the sport, where you've got multiple people that you could put in there. But I thought the Bisping Tyron thing was funny. Here's what people don't know. You can't play with Bisping. Bisping doesn't play. He's like High Brown. You don't play with him. So I think when that started and somebody turned a camera on, they were going to have some fun. They were working together. They were being commented. You don't play with Michael Bisping. So all of a sudden, it got real. And I don't know if it ever did for Tyron. I trust that it did, but it was real for Bisping. When he accepted the challenge, he meant it. I mean, that's a legit badass. That's a real-life badass right there. Did you see that thing? Tyron said, "How much are you weighing?" And Bisping said, "More than you, little man." I mean, that's how it began. And that's as soon as I knew. See, guys, you don't know Michael. You don't play with Michael.
I told you. Well, here, let's go here first. Crow Cop against King Mo. Did you have an opportunity to watch that fight?
Yeah, I did. Was that a work? I mean, I hate to say, you know what I think about Japan fights? I think they're all fugazi, and it looked real as hell. I just can't accept that King Mo could get doubled up like that by Crow Cop. Was that a work?
I think he got doubled up by 3 or 4 of those kicks earlier on, and then the last one he was like, that's too much. I mentioned this to you. Switch over to pro wrestling. I mentioned this to you.
Wait, that's it? That's it on Mo and Crow Cop? You just want to know if I saw the fight?
Okay, good. Dan.
No, I'm asking. Did you have an opinion on it, or you just want to know if I saw the fight?
I just told you. I said that it was he caught him with 3 or 4 kicks in the first round.
So that was the first round. Are you aware that was it was a tournament? 2 days later, Crow Cop fought 2 more guys in one night. That was a tournament. Crow Cop won the whole thing. Crow Cop won the Grand Prix. That's huge. That's a huge accomplishment, particularly for a guy in his 40s who people thought his career was over a decade ago.
I should have read the rest of my notes.
Yeah. So good job, Crow Cop. Here's to Crow Cop.
Okay, over to pro wrestling. And I told you about this, which was last week. Raw and SmackDown was in Chicago. And I catch the beginning, and I'm like, what are they chanting? They're chanting CM Punk, CM Punk.
He's
CM
from
Punk.
Chicago.
Yeah. Still a big pop. And I'm like, oh, wow, they're setting the trap to bring him back, and Stephanie buries him. She's like, keep chanting that for 2 minutes and 15 more seconds, and that's more than he fought. And I was like, okay.
Incredible line by Stephanie. I'm glad you told that part of the story, because that's an incredible heel line right there.
So the next day, so now they've got me wondering, is CM Punk coming back, or was that an authentic reaction in Chicago? Next day, John Cena's big return on SmackDown. He comes out, they're doing it again. They're doing CM Punk again. He doesn't touch it. He doesn't touch it at all. He doesn't fall for any of it. He says, wow, there's a lot of things you guys could be chanting. I figured you'd chant, go Cubs, go. And he spun it. And then that's when I was like, oh, wow, no, that was real. That was authentic. And CM Punk, you still got a ton of fans.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, in wrestling, it's never over, man. They do what's best for business, and that's a big deal. When you get a crowd reaction like that, you do have the executives upstairs going, oh, wow, I didn't know he had any stroke left. And you do think he could easily return. You know, if there's one thing we know about Vince McMahon, he forgives. He forgives and he moves on if it's best for business. So, yeah, Punk's phone might ring. I don't think he'll take it. I think Punk is going to fight again, and I know he's in the gym training every day. You know, we talked about this yesterday with Ronda.